For over 5,000 years, a dragon has slept, awoken, fallen, and risen again. This isn't a mythical beast, but a civilization that has shaped philosophy, invention, and empire, and whose heartbeat still echoes across the modern world. This is the entire history of China: dynasties, dragons, and revolution. Our story begins thousands of years ago, along the fertile banks of the Yellow River. Here, early farmers carved a life out of the unforgiving soil, laying the foundation for one of humanity's oldest continuous civilizations. By 2100 BCE, legends spoke of the Xia dynasty, a semi-mythical kingdom where heroic rulers supposedly tamed great floods and forged tools from bronze. Whether it was myth or truth, it marked the dawn of Chinese civilization. Then came the Shang dynasty, real, archaeological, and incredibly powerful. The Shang left behind oracle bones, which are the earliest known examples of Chinese writing. Kings would consult their ancestors by burning these bones, then reading the cracks to find divine guidance. Religion, power, and writing, all woven together, setting the stage for everything that would follow. Around 1046 BCE, the Zhou dynasty rose to power, introducing one of history's most influential political ideas: the mandate of heaven. The concept was simple, yet revolutionary. Rulers governed not by birthright alone, but by virtue. If they became corrupt, heaven would withdraw its mandate, and rebellion was justified. Just think about that. Thousands of years before the rise of modern democracy, China was already exploring the idea that power must be moral. But even the most moral ideals couldn't prevent chaos. Over centuries, the Zhou kingdom fragmented into rival states, plunging China into the Warring States period, an age of endless warfare, but also profound intellectual growth. It was during this turbulent time that philosophers reshaped the world. Confucius taught the importance of harmony, family, and respect. Laozi spoke of balance and living in accordance with the Tao, and Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War, a military classic still studied today. While swords clashed on the battlefield, ideas blossomed, and one kingdom was preparing to unite them all under its rule. In 221 BCE, a ruthless leader named Qin Shi Huang conquered the warring states and declared himself the first emperor of China. He was a unifier. He standardized writing, currency, and even the width of cart axles, a seemingly small detail that revolutionized trade across his vast empire. He also began construction on a project that would become the Great Wall of China, a symbol of strength that still stands as a testament to his ambition. But his obsession with achieving immortality led to tyranny. His massive tomb, guarded by thousands of life-sized terracotta warriors, remains one of the greatest archaeological discoveries in history. After his death, rebellion tore the empire apart, but the idea of a unified China was here to stay. Rising from the ashes came the Han dynasty, a name so powerful that even today, Han is the word most Chinese people use to describe their ethnicity. Under the Han, China flourished. Paper was invented, science advanced, and trade exploded along the legendary Silk Road connecting China to Rome, Persia, and beyond. Imagine a world where shimmering silk from Xi and ended up in Caesar Ed's palace. That was the global reach of the Han. This was China's first golden age, an empire of innovation, literature, and learning. But like all golden ages, it eventually dimmed, giving way to centuries of division, ambitious warlords, and short-lived dynasties. Then came the Tang dynasty, often called China's most cosmopolitan and open era. The capital, Chang'an, was the largest city on Earth, a vibrant hub for poets, traders, monks, and scholars from every corner of Asia. Poets like Li Bai and Du Fu wrote verses that captured the beauty and sorrow of the human experience. Meanwhile, Buddhist monks carried new ideas along the Silk Road, blending Indian spirituality with Chinese philosophy. But the innovation didn't stop there. During the following Song dynasty, China witnessed the birth of gunpowder, compass navigation, and movable type printing, inventions that would later fundamentally change the world. Art and science thrived, yet military weakness left China vulnerable to threats from the north, and in the 1200s, the thunder of hooves echoed across the steppes. Led by Kublai Khan, the Mongols conquered China and established the Yuan dynasty. For the first time in its history, all of China was ruled by foreigners, becoming part of a vast empire that linked east and west. Yet, the Mongols struggled to maintain Chinese traditions, and rebellion soon brewed among the populace. By 1368, the Ming dynasty rose, restoring Han Chinese rule and a sense of national pride. The Ming emperors built the magnificent Forbidden City in Beijing, strengthened the Great Wall, and launched massive naval expeditions under Admiral Zheng He. His enormous treasure ships reached the shores of Africa long before Columbus set sail for the Americas. But this era of exploration didn't last. The empire turned inward, and by the 1600s, corruption had spread like wildfire, and the dragon's strength weakened once again. In 1644, the Qing dynasty, founded by the Manchus from the north, seized power. For centuries, they ruled over a vast and diverse land, but the world was changing fast, and the Qing struggled to keep up. Western powers arrived with iron warships and opium, which they used to force open China's doors. The Opium Wars shattered China's pride, leading to humiliating treaties that ceded territory and control. The once mighty empire became known as the Sick Man of Asia. Internal uprisings like the Taiping Rebellion, one of the deadliest conflicts in human history, tore at the nation's soul. By 1911, after nearly 2,000 years of imperial rule, the last emperor, a young boy named Puyi, was forced to abdicate. The dragon's crown had fallen. Out of the ashes rose the Republic of China, led by Sun Yat-sen, a visionary who dreamed of national unity and democracy. But his dream was soon shattered by warlords, a devastating Japanese invasion, and a bitter civil war. In 1949, after decades of turmoil, Mao Zedong stood in Tiananmen Square and declared the founding of the People's Republic of China. The revolution had triumphed, but it came at a terrible cost. Famine, political purges, and cultural upheaval would scar generations of Chinese people. Yet China endured. Through sweeping reforms, rapid modernization, and integration into the global economy, it transformed itself from a fractured empire into one of the world's great powers. Once again, the dragon was awake and roaring. From bronze tools to artificial intelligence, from ancient calligraphy to quantum satellites, China's journey is not just the history of a nation, but a profound story of resilience, reinvention, and rebirth. 5,000 years of dynasties, dragons, and revolution, and still the story continues. Because in every dynasty that fell, every wall that crumbled, and every emperor who rose and fell, the spirit of China endured. A civilization that never truly ended. It only changed its form. If you enjoyed this journey through time, please consider subscribing for more stories that have shaped our world. The dragon may sleep from time to time, but history never does. Thank you for watching.